Hello, everyone, and welcome to Inside Leather History, a Fireside Chat. I'm Doug OKeeffe. I am the host and the producer of the chats, which are a program of the Leather Archives and Museum. Today, a very special privilege for me. I am interviewing Suzanne van der Laar. Hello, Suzanne.
Hi,
how are
Douglas.
you?
How are you?
Mwah.
Good to see you.
And we are at her beautiful home in, what is the name of the town?
Almere.
Almere, Netherlands. First time I've ever been to this town. And let me tell you, this is an absolutely beautiful home in a beautiful community. Before we begin and get into the meat of your interview, tell me a little bit about this unique community and how things work here.
This is the community, it's called Oosterwold. And Oosterwold is the place in Almere where you can do everything you want for yourself. So you have to grow your own vegetables, which I do. You saw my fruit trees, everything. And it's a big space where everybody can build their house like they want to build it. So there are rules, but not that much rules. So you can be who you want to be. And it's a big community and everybody expects, how do you say it? Is there for each other. They don't mind who you are because we're together. That's the way I think life should be.
So it's a little bit of sort of a modern, community.
I think when we had in the 70s, we had the hippies, the 70 people. That was different. It was all about sex and sexuality. This isn't about sexuality. This is about being back to nature, being back to yourself. And if you want to wear leather or you want to eat only vegetables or you want to be only green thinking. So we reuse our water because the environment at this time, we have a lot of problems with that. So we think about everything. Everything you see here is natural. So it's all about nature.
It's absolutely stunning. I personally have never seen anything quite like it.
Thank you. I'm happy that I can laugh. We were driving here and you were like, oh, we saw round houses, houses like UFOs.
Yes, the UFO house is very unique. I don't know, I might be afraid of it.
Oh yeah, I think when you live next to it, you hear beep, beep. Yeah, you never know.
Let's start at the very beginning. I'm going to make sure I get your title correct. You are the first Ms. Leather Netherlands.
Correct.
And am I correct, the first woman title holder in Europe?
Yes, you are.
Okay. That is an amazingly unique distinction. But before we get into that, please tell me a little bit about your background, your family. Where are you from?
Where I'm from? I'm from a little town in the Netherlands. It's called Cohoorn. It's above Schagen. And I grew up there in a religious family. And I found out when I was 17, 18 that I loved the smell of leather. And I feel very comfortable wearing leather. And then I got into a marriage which went terribly wrong. And then I found out who I was, that I was a pansexual woman and that I loved people and that I didn't see men, women, or transgender person. So I was like, I don't know who I am because people were not talking about that during the 90s. So then I came back from my traveling from Venezuela and I saw this person and it was Sander at that time, still my husband at that moment. And we fell in love. And I told him about my fetish things and about my leather. I said, just explore what you like. And then we get a little daughter and then it get a little bit background and I start photographing. And then I started with photographing puppies.
Puppies?
Puppies, yeah. Leather puppies. And I thought, this is what I want to do again. So I went back to the fetish community. In my family, it's a community, it's a big family. I went to Amsterdam to the web and I started photographing with the leather competitions. And I worked my way in as a woman. Because in that time, it was 2016, there were no women in the leather community in Amsterdam. They were not allowed to go to the Miss Leather election.
Wow, yeah.
That's a big time. 2016 we're talking about.
Yeah.
There were no women at the elections. So in 2017, I was the first there, invited.
Let's take a bit of a step back. How did you even know about the leather in the kink community? How did you even discover this?
How did I had my friends. I had a radio show when I was 23 about sexuality. And I had my own erotic shop where I sold leather and I sold shoes and I sold Visa USA shoes. So I talked with people. And I found out there was a whole community under the level we see. we've got a level where we're outside and we've got another community on the ground. Yeah.
How did the radio program come about?
They become about younger people because it was more expensive to buy a condom than to buy a drink. So I wanted to give people the chance to have safe sex, because sexuality you have to enjoy and not get ill of. And it was in the time that people didn't know about PrEP. They only think about boys and girls having sex, but we also have girls having sex, boy having sex, or maybe 3 people having sex, and they didn't talk about that. So I was like, we need to, educate the younger people. So we gave away free anal condoms and free normal condoms. And a lot of people didn't know the difference between those things. And that was the Netherlands.
How did you manage to educate them?
Oh, to say you can ask Suze everything on the radio. So I get the strangest question. So when I'm doing anal sex, am I still a virgin or not? Can I get pregnant when I'm doing that? Or I like a boy, but I don't know how to do a blowjob. And so they start to asking me everything. And then they ask, but can I get AIDS from kissing? We've got all those questions.
But how did you get to the point where you were actually on the air doing this? What qualifications did you bring?
What qualifications? That I was easy to talk to. And I wasn't scared about answering. And I wasn't scared about showing who I was. And I wasn't scared about showing that being a leather woman, I was already wearing leather most of the times. And I wasn't scared about my own sexuality. And I wasn't scared about talking about it.
Tell us about your first leather. How did that happen?
How did that happen? I was in Amsterdam and I saw this long black leather jacket. I still have it. It was on the ground and it was like 800 euros at that time. And I was like, yeah, that's too expensive. So I bought a leather pants because that was 100 gulden and I could buy it. 2 months later, there was sale and 70% off. So I bought it.
Okay.
And yeah, that's the thing I was always wearing. And when you buy leather, it's got to get some part of you. It's got to set, I'm always something leather, something big shoes or something, because it makes me feel safe.
Safe?
Yeah,
okay.
Safe and sexy.
Why does it make you feel safe?
When you have leather, you got a second skin. And when you have leather, people start just being a little bit in the back because they don't know who you are. When I'm going as a counselor to my job, I'm wearing suits and they're approachable. But when you're leather, you're like, oh my God, she's scary. She's going to be a mistress, or what is she? People can't judge you.
Take us back to the first time you put on something leather. How did you feel?
Strong, powerful. I felt myself. I felt that I could turn the whole world on my shoulders and carry it.
Where did you get that piece of leather?
In Amsterdam, in a little shop that doesn't exist anymore.
Oh.
And my second piece of leather I got at the Bijenkorf. It was just a women's clothing thing, and that trouser was just a normal jeans size, but then for women. And I was like, yeah, but it wasn't fetish leather, it was normal leather, so lambskin, so it was very thin, so it broke after 4 years.
Okay.
I didn't know about bootlegging at that time, so yeah, I keep it myself.
But take us back, and I really want to know how you knew about the leather items. You want to know about my harnesses and you want to know about that part. I understand. Yeah, the very beginning.
When I was a little bit older, I had my daughter already, and I had my first stroke. And after that, I needed something to hold on to. And the part that I needed to hold on to was the leather, because leather is always there. It doesn't matter if it's cold or warm, leather is always okay. So I knew that was fine. And when I put it on and you smell the smell of leather, it gives a smile on my face. And when I walk into a leather room and there was no perfume and only the smell of leather and sweat and stuff like that, it turns me on. And it gives me the strength and the power to feel that I'm okay to be there, and everybody around knows why I like my leather. And when you put on your corset and you're getting it tighter and tighter and you pump up your body like you do when you're wearing a corset, and you're getting your back straight. Yeah. And when I put on my first cap, I get it from Almere Donkers. He gave it to me in my first.
Oh, yeah.
And that was a
Mr.
very special moment, yeah.
Why did he give it to you?
He thought I earned it.
That is a beautiful piece then.
Yeah, yeah.
Earned leather is always carrying more power, isn't it?
Exactly. It's a power thing. And when I came the ambassador of Amsterdam for the Fetches as the first woman also, my own party gave me a little pin. And yeah, they were all like, we're here and you can be whoever you want to be. And they said, we don't understand the letter, please explain. So I'm always explaining why leather isn't scared. It's not scary. We're just showing the world that we're here in leather, and we like to wear in leather, and it's sexy as hell, don't you think?
Absolutely. But you mentioned that you had a small shop in Amsterdam.
No, I didn't have it in Amsterdam. I bought it in Amsterdam. I had a shop in Bussum. I had a shop in Beverwijk and in Apeldoorn with a good friend of mine.
Oh, I see.
Where we were selling stuff to people that want some sex toys, people that need education about sexuality, people that were asexual, and people that were transgender people.
Tell us about that. How did you come to that level of business?
How did I come there? I want to do something that's real. I don't want to do fake stuff. And when you see, when it was in 2001, I think 2002, when I started that. And then we had the thing about sex shop, it was always in the background. It was not on the front. We hadn't had those fancy stuff. So people that were buying it were lousy or like, hey, you don't talk about it. But I wanted to have it in the open. I want to talk about sex. And I want to talk about enjoying your life, enjoying on a safe way your sexuality and your kinks.
Tell us about your kinks.
My kinks. I'm wearing red. What do you think my kinks are?
I'm sure I don't know.
You don't know. Okay. So I like a little bit of yellow, and I like the red, the fisting part, and I like using my whips. How do you call it?
Whips, yes.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, with a scream, I know. I like licking that off, yeah.
Tell us about your early experimentation with your whips and your other sexual activities.
I was 17, 18, and we start playing around just with friends that you feel comfortable with, talking about sex, talking about what other things there are. So we tried a horse whip. That was not okay because I didn't use it okay. I just did it. I was like, that's not okay. So we started reading about it. You didn't have the internet at that time, so we had to go to the library. There you couldn't find anything. So you started to talk to people, and then you start to learn by talking and asking. And when you were working in the shop, when I was a little bit older, we were talking about people that come buy things, and I asked, how do you use it? Can you teach me? Can you help me? Because there's people that are using it and can help you.
Now, tell us about your early exploration in that. Were you able to network with these people and then work with them? Yeah. Tell us how that happened.
That worked, and that went very underground. So they didn't want their names to be told. So they just asked, if you want to learn, you have to do it with control. Don't ever use someone's whip you don't know, because you don't know what it's doing. So it has to be a part of you. So if you want to use it safe. And if you start fisting, do it in a safe manner. Use gloves to protect yourself, and the other one is being fisted. So yeah, that's things. You start getting knowledge and start to get excitement about it and start to get everything about it.
That's fascinating.
Why?
Why? You're interviewing me?
No, I'm not. I'm just like, why is it fascinating? I'm sorry.
I love learning how people came to the point where they are today. I love learning what pieces they brought together that puts them here, who they are at this moment.
Yeah, for me, I went to the place where I am by being true to myself and not worried about things I had in mind. And I had a partner where I can talk to what I want to do. And they said, they are now gay because they're non-binary and they're now Nikki. They came out during COVID. They said, there's nothing that is strange. If we talk about it, we can find a way in it. So if you want to explore, explore. And we have no boundaries. We've got an empty paper. And in that paper, we can go everywhere to look. Don't do animals, don't do kids, but look what you want. What's your body? Enjoy it. Enjoy your kinks. Come to yourself. Feel safe. You know, that's the thing.
What was the biggest revelation for you in that journey? Discovering what you liked and what you wanted.
That it wasn't strange, that it wasn't scary, that there were more people like me, that I had a lot of education to do to other people, and that people were not visible. So that people, when you're a mom, or you're a woman, or you're on schoolyards, and you say you like sex, it's a big problem.
Yes.
And when I'm saying I like that, or I'm saying that, I'm saying you're a sex worker. And if I want to be a sex worker, that's my thing. But it's a normal job, so don't say anything about it. I'm not a sex worker, but I'm not saying you're a baker either if you're not, you know?
Yes.
And that's the thing, yeah, but that's something different. I said, no, we all help the community. You make bread, and people that are sex workers give sex. So it's all something we gave to the community. So don't say to me, you can call me a sex worker and I'm not. And you're a high, I don't know, maybe a higher manager or something else. And I call you a baker and you don't like it. Why don't you like it? Why are those people less than you are? Come on, we're all human. And this is me. And if you can't handle that, yeah, that's your problem. Walk on, give each other a hand and go away. That's it.
Absolutely. I agree.
So that's how I raised my daughter. I said, you can be whoever you want to be. And she knows about bears, she knows about puppies, she knows about fetishes. She loves leather too. So yeah, I like it.
Do you remember when we first met?
I remember that I had you on the phone when I was sitting outside when I was going to run for Amstel. And I was talking to, I know her name. I'm tired. I was in hospital yesterday. Oh, what's her name? She's also a flight attendant and she's very nice. And we went to Pride together. You must help me. Angela, yeah.
Yes.
And she was talking to me. And then we met in Amsterdam in a bar and we had a drink and your friend was there too. And we had a nice talk. And we had a good thing. And you live in Chicago near friends of mine, Boy Debney, and yeah.
Well, I recall meeting you in Antwerp, in Belgium.
Yes, we did as well. We took tattoo that I asked you, can I take a picture of you? But when we start first talking a little bit deeper, it was with Angela.
Yeah.
That's when we met. The other one was like slowly passing by 2 minutes, and the other one we talked.
Yeah. I remember that because, you wanted to take the photos. And I thought, wow, this is fascinating that you would be interested in that.
Of course.
So,
you got a nice tattoo.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
It's definitive, I'll say that. Now, when you were coming out into the general community, you mentioned women were not allowed in the spaces that are very definitive in the Netherlands. What were your thoughts on that? What were your feelings?
I thought there was a lot to learn outside the community, but also inside the community. So I starting to build bridges. Very slow. And I got hands for it with Raymond Zimmer and Axe. We'll probably talk a lot of that later. A lot of my friends are becoming men, and they said, we need more women in our community. I said, yeah, so I'm starting to build it up. And yeah, it was difficult, but it worked. Why it was difficult? It was difficult because people didn't want their safe place to be shared with women. And they want to have the bars together, no problem. But when you are in a playing room, or when you are in a dark room, or you have to play, you don't want women and men having sex. If you go to a gay bar, you want two men having sex. And I understand that. So I'm saying we need all our safe places, but the parties where you have the dark rooms, for me, it's like, I'm not going to a dark room on a fetish party. Why not? Because I think that's for the men there. And when I have the women parties, we have separate rooms. We can do that. I don't have to be there when the men have to play their plays. When you have combinations, that's perfect. But when we have a party, we can party together.
What were your first impressions when you finally visited places like the Web or other bars?
Safe, very safe. When I'm in Amsterdam, it's my place where I go for a drink. And it's the place when my daughter is in Amsterdam and she needs a safe place, she's going to the Web.
Wow.
And everybody knows it. And it's like, because people are being taken care of. That's what Leather is for me. It's a safe place. The Web is a safe place for me and for other people too, because it's okay. If they're happening, you can go there.
Were there any surprises?
Yeah, but that was in Chicago. When I went to IML, I went to Touché.
Oh, yes.
And I went to a women's only party with boy, and I didn't expect that. We went to a place in the middle of Chicago, and there were lights buzzing like I was in a movie. And then we went to a house, and we had to do a safe word, and then walk upstairs and do another safe word. And I was like, this is fucking scary. It was not safe, but it also gives you some more vibes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Now, a moment ago, you mentioned Axleto.
Yeah.
I didn't, your little kitten is here.
Yeah, it's Brody. It's a
Brody?
brown cat. Yeah.
You mentioned Axe. I did an interview with him last fall, and
I saw it.
and it has been released now. What are your feelings there? I know that's
It's sad.
painful.
It's very painful because we lost a strong member of our community, and his death was sudden. And I speeched on the monument for him, but he's
Yeah,
gone.
I saw that.
He's gone, and he's not coming back. And you see that he was always having he fight for rights to be woman. He was the one that asked me to be in this letter.
Yes.
And he was relieved that I said yes, because I didn't hear what he was saying. I was driving in my car. I'm gonna do a big photo shoot with Axe, and I had all these big dildos in my car, green, blue, and I had to clean them, and I cleaned them at the house because they were a little bit with dust, and I think, for the picture I need them done. And then I drove too fast, and there was this policeman that stopped me, and I had all these dildos next to me.
No.
And he was saying, what are you gonna do? I said, I'm gonna have a nice weekend. And he was laughing, and then he said, oh, you're Suze, you're gonna judge the Mr. Bear tonight. And I was like, what the fuck? So I was like, okay,
wow.
so I was safe there. And then I came out, I was like, okay, I was driving too hard, and I stepped out of the car, and there was Axe, always too late. So I was, okay, you were here. And he said, and I said, what are you saying? And he said, again, and I didn't hear it. I said, yeah, no problem. Do you want to do that? Yeah, no problem. And then he just did this. I said, what did I say yes to? I said, everybody said you would say no. I said, what did I say yes to? I said, I ask you if you want to be the first Miss Leather Netherlands. And then I said, I will do that for you and for the community, but I will only do it 6 months. Because I want our schedules go the same. So I want the Miss Leather and the Mr. Leather going on the same time.
Okay.
So you can make me Miss Leather on Mother's Day, the 12th of May, as a very special day. And he said, all right, let's do that.
But back up one moment. He was apparently asking other people, why did they think you would decline?
Because I don't want to be in the picture. I was always on the back. I was always building bridges on the backside, and I had a kid, and I was living in Almere, and I wasn't from Amsterdam. I was this leather woman, and I was making pictures, and I was always there, but I was not on the front row. Because maybe you don't know now, but in that time, I didn't want to be at front. I will push other people in that way, because I will help them to be bigger, and they want me there.
Why didn't you want to be up front?
Because I didn't think it was my place.
I will say in his interview, Axe and I spoke about you being the first woman title holder. He spoke so beautifully
Yeah, I loved him.
about you, and everything he said was so on point and so accurate. Tell us a little bit about Axe so that someone watching this video can understand not only who he was, but who he was to you.
For me, he was like a fun person to be with, but also a person that you couldn't build on. And then on the other hand, you could. But when you had a time appointment with him, it wasn't working that way. And he always wanted to do everything himself. And he was glitter, he was glamour, but he was also sometimes needing to have a talk in midnight because he was feeling lonely. And he was also this beautiful boy that was addicted to gyms and to looking good, and he was addicted to his leather, and he was always working, and he was a veteran, and he was talking about people that he helped, and he was talking about that he wanted to be everybody safe, and he was talking about PrEP, how important that is, and that he was angry that it was still not getting there for everybody. So yeah, he was always thinking about other people, but when we talked together privately, he was there also, that little boy, that fun boy with a big smile, would also need a Huxley.
Yes. You agreed to be the first Ms. Leather Netherlands. Now, Axe was relieved that you agreed to this. What were you thinking and feeling truly, deep down?
At that moment, I was like, all right, I have to ask my daughter. She was 15 years old. That's what I told to Axe. I will ask Meryl, because I don't want her to have an unsafe feeling about it. So I went home and I said, give me 3 hours and then I will give you my honest answer. And I asked Meryl and Nikki, what do you want me to do? And he said, are you really asking this us? Why are you asking this us? I said, because I want you to be also in this, because they're going to ask a lot of me and I have to travel and I have to be around everybody and I'm going to be public. And people are going to have opinions about me. And they may not be real or they may be real, but people were thinking things and it will fill in things. They still do. And they said both, we want the world to have you and we have you back after that.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, and she's now ambassador from Sanford Pride.
Oh,
little
how
girl, and
beautiful.
she's wearing leather, and she said everybody in the leather has to be there.
That is beautiful.
Thank you.
And I feel your energy when you explain that. But take us to your contest.
Yeah,
Tell us about that. How was that done?
I didn't have a contest.
Okay, was
I didn't have a contest because they said we want you to be the first to be a role model, and
Okay.
my contest was everything I did. I did build the bridges so people are allowed to come in. That's the things I already done. It was not the things I promised. The only thing I promised that I would take it to the City Hall of Amsterdam, and I took it a little bit further because I'm a councillor now. And I will shake the hand of the mayor, and I talk to her about visibility, and I will be visible as a leather woman the rest of my life, and I am.
Was there any kind of award that when they gave you the sash, or how was that done?
Hey, and I have something on my back.
Ah,
See it?
yes, I do. I don't know if we get it on the camera, but
I will show you.
okay, maybe at the end we
At
can
the
do
end,
that.
and I get
Yeah.
a sash, and they gave it to me, and yeah, we were in a little bar Buka in Amsterdam, and I did my own thing. I made a movie about myself, and my song is "This Is Me" from the movie, and I took some pictures of who I was. So I told with that song what I did, where I stand for, and who I am today. And I ended with a picture of myself with my family, because I'm also a mom. I'm a bear mama. I'm a Miss Bear, and they wanted me to be that. I said, no, I can only have one title. I don't want to be a title holder, everything. I'm a puppy mom because I love puppies. I've got boy, that's the little one. I've got my partner, and I've got my daughter. So yeah, I'm a people person. So just let me be.
So you held this for 6 months.
Yeah.
Tell us some of the things you did during that time with your title.
With my title. I started a Pride in Almere because we didn't have one. I made the first trans pet, this transgender crossover in Europe. I arranged it in 6 weeks. We did also a gay bar pot. We called it like that. I don't know how you call it, with all the rainbow colors where you walk over, crossover with rainbow colors.
Okay, I get the idea.
You get the idea.
Yeah.
So in Europe, we have all these pads, and you have them also in America, I know, with the colors on the street for gay people. But for transgender people, we didn't have that here.
Okay.
So I thought we need one for them too, but because they're doing a crossover, they're going to the true self. So I said, we need that. And we arranged that in the city for like 6 weeks later, we had it. So we were the first in Europe to have a transgender crossing over.
Oh, you mean a crosswalk?
Yeah, crosswalk.
Oh, I'm following now.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Everybody else too.
Yeah,
So we
yes.
have
A
crosswalk
crosswalk to cross the street.
across the street.
Yes,
So we
okay.
had that. We got a rainbow one and a transgender flags. And that was a big thing. So I organized the first Pride in Almere. We've got almost 1,200 people on the streets.
Wow.
And I arranged it in 6 weeks' time.
How did you do that?
By smiling, being honest, and saying what they need to do. Just have people around you that want to help you. And like leather is like, let's go.
Yeah.
For me, and that's what I did. But putting people in the right positions and let them shine in their own thing. We had people that helping us to be safe, like Robbie and Hans from from Amsterdam and Andre, everybody was there, and all the title holders were helping me out. So I didn't do it all. I did started it, but everybody helped like the community is supposed to. So everybody was working together.
I recall you posting photos of that. I
burned it on the street myself in the middle of the night. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I brought those guys who were working there, I brought them some cake and some tea and some pizza. And they said, why are you doing that? I said, you're doing this for me and for our community, and I want to help you. And so we went there.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. And it has survived COVID? It will continue?
It is. It will continue. It already did last year. And what I also did, I in the city hall, we didn't wear the rainbow flag. We have now the all-inclusive flag, every day out, progressive flag.
Yeah.
And during the Pride months, we have the rainbow colors on the city hall. I did a lot.
Is there anything you wish you had done but you didn't do?
Is there anything I wish I had done but I didn't do? No, because I didn't say no to anything.
Oh, okay.
When they asked me, I said, and the only thing, when I was running for IMSL, you know that, and I was asked to do that. I was running with Boy Debney and a lot of other people, and I was working my ass off for that. And then COVID hit, and the city went, America went lockdown.
Yes.
And you couldn't get into America anymore. And then my family said, you worked so hard, and we didn't trust Trump. We didn't. We thought it was a joke, and COVID wasn't that bad. So I took a plane on the last day that Europe was open to fly into America, and 5 minutes before 12 in the night, I arrived in New York with no hotel open, everything closed. And there was my little community, 500 people in the US sent me a text if I want to come over, if they need to pick me up. And this was because Leslie, Emerson, and Boy Debney sent out an SOS to help me out.
They would, wouldn't they?
They did.
They absolutely are the people who
So
would.
somebody picked me up, and I stayed over there. And then we found out that IMSL's going to be not going on. And that's when I went back, because I didn't want to let them down.
I recall when you were in the US at that time, and literally the world was shutting down around us, I felt disappointed that you didn't get to do IMSL. I really personally felt
No, not only you. A lot of people sent me text messages. Why didn't you own the title? You never own a title. I showed the world what I was capable of and what I wanted to do for the world. And I don't need a title to be a leather woman. I don't need it. I'm a leather woman. I don't need to be IMSL. They have next week. They have it in New Jersey.
Yes.
This year it was always in California, but it's not safe there anymore. So we need a lot of people being visible, being who they are.
That is true. That's true. But in my personal opinion, I personally felt you stood a very good chance of winning that title. Just my opinion,
Thank you.
but that's what I thought.
A lot of people were saying that, but we had strong candidates at that time. And of course it was my dream with my own bootleg boy running a whole year traveling. But everybody had problems with COVID. And when I came back, it was terrible. A lot of my friends died during COVID.
Yes, yes. Now, you were the first woman title holder in the Netherlands and within Europe. How?
You know that I made the title Miss Equal for Karen. Did you know that?
No. Let's come to that. Let's come to that. But I want to address, how did the European community react to you?
Perfect.
How so?
Also, I don't know. It was a warm bath. They already knew me about the photographing. So I was already at Darklands all the time.
Okay.
And I was everywhere already. So they said, yeah, we trust you with it.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Now, Axe was trying to bring women's contests to other countries in Europe. Where do you think that situation sits today?
A lot of women don't want to come out in Europe. You know, in the US, you see a lot of women coming out. But also they have problems with their private. They're not coming out under the real name. My Facebook and everything I have is open for everybody to see. And a lot of people are saying, yeah, but I want a job. And I'm afraid people think about me. I'm afraid of what my family will say. We've got social media, and it's scary for some people to come out, especially women, because it's not easy as a woman, being sexuality, being proud of who you are, wearing your leather. Yeah, some people think that's scary.
That's a shame.
It's a shame, but
on many levels.
It's a shame on many levels. We got a lot of work to do there, but when you see how LGBTQA plus things going on in Europe, it's getting bad.
Yes.
It's not safe anymore. We had a lot of people being bullied, a lot of violence against us. Today we're flagging everywhere in the Netherlands because a lot of people are being punished or being, so it's turning. We have a lot of work to do.
Yes, absolutely. Now, honestly, did you receive difficulties from leathermen in the community who didn't like the fact that the woman was in that situation?
One, I received one, and I talked with him, and after that we became friends.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. Now,
I'm not telling names, but that was funny.
I didn't even ask because I knew better.
Yeah.
But what do you feel was your greatest challenge as a woman title, the first woman title holder?
My greatest challenge was to show the other world, not only our leather community, but everyone, that it's okay to be who you want to be. That you don't have to be afraid if you want to feel sexy, if you want to wear leather, if you want to be spoken out. It's okay. You know, this is me. I'm working in my garden, I'm wearing jeans, I'm wearing this, but I'm always the same person.
Yeah.
And if you like me, you like me. And if you don't like me, just walk on.
Yeah.
And if you want a hand, if you want something to be done, ask me. Maybe I can help you.
You know I will in the future. But where is the Ms. Netherlands title sitting today? Is it still active?
It's very active, but last year there was, we had Pien. She was a wonderful Miss Leather, and I was in Switzerland for my health. And then during the Pride in Almere, Mr. Eagle, Karen, said to Pien, maybe it's time to put down your sash. So Pien put down her sash, but the organization of Miss Leather didn't know. So there was a big miscommunication with two people that did something else.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not going in there, but that's what happened. And now we're trying to build it up, but we had a little bit of a twist there.
So are there plans to do the contest?
We had plans,
okay,
but we stopped there because if people want to do it that way, who am I to pull people back and to do an official ceremony if they do it like that and put it on Facebook and we didn't even know? I love Pien and that's perfect and we talked about it, so that's okay. But at that moment for me, it was like we built a lot and I got a lot of people saying, where were you and why aren't you talking about it? So that's also the community.
I think I'm a little confused. Was Pien? Pien. Okay, I'll try to.
She was Miss Leather.
Yes, I don't personally know her. I just know who she is.
A wonderful person. Yeah.
Was a contest held for her? I'm confused.
There was a contest held for the two of them.
Okay.
And there were 4 people running for Miss Leather after me. And then Karen won.
Yes.
And then COVID came and we said we want to have more women visible. So I talked to Ax and we're talking about, I want to do a Miss Rubber. And I said, let's do. And then I went to the Eagle and I said, we need a Miss Eagle. I think it's good to have a Miss Eagle to be visible. So then I said, we must do that. So I talked to him about it, to Michael from the Rocks from the Eagle in the Netherlands. And then we arranged a title for Karen and for Pien. So we have 2 women during COVID to be strong out there, being visible for also the women that they have, if you want to be a kink like the eagle and a fetish eagle or only the leather, because there's so much more kink and the leather is only the leather. And when you look at Karen, she has a lot more kink. She's got the diaper kink. She's got a lot of kink. So that's fantastic. So I thought, let's give her the title she deserves because she's not only leather. Right. And then Pien is leather. She's fully leather, and so we thought, all right, we have to do the coming up, and yeah, so that's what we did. In good communication, and now it's Mr. Eagle because also Karen turned out to be non-binary during COVID. So yeah, a lot of things happened.
Now, what advice, somewhere, someone's going to look at this video.
Oh, yes.
Now, what advice can you offer someone who wants to come into the women's leather or kink community?
Just text me. That's no problem. Just text me. Find me on Facebook. Send me a text. A lot of people do that still. We're going to do new things for Miss Leather. I think it will be next year because we had to be a little bit slowed down because a lot of things happened in the community. A lot of people were sick, died, and we had to rearrange. There's no money left after COVID. All the big bars are having problems.
Yes.
No sponsors, nothing at all. So yeah, we're trying to be there. I think next year there will be a new Miss Leather.
If you do some kind of a contest next year, please call on
say
me
so.
to be a judge. I'm
I
happy
will.
to do it.
Of course, you will be.
Now, how do you want to be remembered by the, let's keep it to the Netherlands community.
Just as Soes.
Okay.
Just Soes. You know, everybody knows me for who I am and that I'm trustable and that you can have a good laugh with me, but don't mess with me.
What do you want an international audience to know about leather and kinky women here and maybe other places also in Europe?
The difference between the leather kink in Europe and the US is that here it's still very under the bottom. And the kink in the US, you have bars for women. We don't have that much bars. We have now a new club in Amsterdam, Femme, but it's a part of the men's bar and we're trying to get it done. But it's, yeah, we're getting there. But it's still slow. We're underground, we're having parties, we have a lot of rubber women and a lot of leather women who are coming there, but they're not visible outside because they're afraid what people think about them.
How can people access that underground community?
Through me, or through Karin, or through Pien, or through Mr. B. Everybody knows where it is.
Okay.
On Beaumonde, we have all those women you can see.
Now, I can't help but remember there's a lesbian bar in Amsterdam, yes?
There was.
It's not there anymore?
A lot of them are closed. So we've got now a femme bar at the Regulier. That's opened again, and we've got Barbuka. It's a lesbian bar.
That's the one I'm thinking.
Barbuka, that's
Yes.
the one that I started to my Miss Leather journey, but they have difficulties, so they're struggling to stay alive. If you want to have a drink and you're lesbian, go there, help them.
Okay. You just said something though that I found interesting. You said you began your journey in that bar. Tell us a little more about that. I don't want to miss that because it sounds like an interesting piece.
It's where the Miss Leather starts. That's the Barbuka is the bar that Axe wanted to give me the sash. So that's where the Miss Leather organization starts.
Okay.
And that's only one thing there because it's a lesbian bar. It's not a fetish bar. It's not a
Right.
kink bar. So they were like leather. Yeah, it's also a big thing to come out from. Kink is just not a lot of people understand kink. So there we got a lot of things to be.
It's true.
Yeah.
What advice or what can you offer to a traveler coming to Netherlands or to other places you know? What advice can you offer them?
Yeah, we have in Club Church, we have nice parties you can go. So if you go and you come to the Netherlands, you always go to that bar in Amsterdam, the Queen's Head. I think that's nice. If you want to meet people, then you're on the red light district. There you have these little bars. Then you can find people who know where to go. And then you can ask what you like and you're safe there.
I always like to go to Queen's Head because it's a comfortable place for all friends to gather.
You can be there what you wear. If you want to wear rubber, it's fine. If you want to wear leather, it's fine. If you wear jeans, it's fine. If you wear your pajamas, it's fine. It doesn't matter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, if you could, where would you really like to take your representation? Is there a place that really says, I need to go here and do that?
I'm working. We went on holiday to Kenya, and that's not a safe place. So I'm working there. I'm trying to get my finger there, and I'm crying about Nigeria because you're not allowed to be talking about LGBT anymore. There are a lot of scary things going on.
Yeah.
But also nearby, look at Poland, where you're a transgender person and you're going to travel to Poland, you have a big problem. It's Europe, but it's not safe. And when I'm going to the Bible Belt just around the corner, 15 minutes away, they ignore that I'm existing. And in my own city hall, people who are also counselors are saying that it's woke what I'm doing. It's woke that I'm married to a person that doesn't want to be a male or female, but is a non-binary person. And even in our own community, people don't understand this. So we've got a lot of work to do. It's not only about the kink, but it's also about gender difficulty.
Wow. Yes, I would agree with that. Now, how do you want to be remembered in your community?
I think I already gave an answer to that, but I just want to remember it as being Suze, the one that always smiled, wearing red lipstick, big boobs, black hair, and smiling and being there for another. That's always helping, but doesn't want to be at the foreground.
What's the biggest misconception about you?
That I'm a bitch.
Why?
I'm not. I can be, but I'm not. If you don't mess with me, I'm not messing with you. If you mess with me 3 times, I'm done.
Okay, I better be careful then.
You didn't mess with me at all. I invite you at my home.
Yes, you did. It's very beautiful.
Yeah.
I really hope, my hope anyway, is that the women in the European communities will become more and more visible. Coming from North America, you know, for me, the integration is so normal that...
You're further than we are.
Yeah.
When we look at, you know, Black Lives Matter only started 3 years ago here. We're still very discriminating country. Europe is not thinking about those things. They're saying it's woke. So we're back. We're far behind.
Yeah, which is surprising.
No, it's not. Because you guys think about things more because you have all those interactions with all those people and you're living closer together in those countries. And we're living here and we have all these little islands and we're thinking it's okay and we've got all these culture things going on. Yeah, it's different. We also had Black Pete, you know, we had big problems here.
Black Pete, yeah.
So people saying, yeah, but it's our habitat. Yeah, but we're hurting people. No, we don't.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of conversations there.
Suzanne van der Laar, excuse me, I thank you for such an honor to be able to interview you, come to your beautiful home, and learn a little bit more about the women in Europe. I'm honored and I thank you.
Thank you so much, Douglas.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, check out the Fireside Chat channel for more chapters in the history of leather. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe.